Hi everyone. Today I want to talk to you about a situation I see over and over and over again during the consultation I do on Asana. Let's say I'm a real estate company called Sunshine Real Estate and I manage properties. I find properties on the market, I try to sell them. Let's say I deal with about 50 different properties per year. What I'm seeing over and over again is what you see on the screen. People create a board view like this with all the properties. You have the stages as the columns. You have one card for each property, and that card has all the different subtasks regarding the different steps of the sales process. Evaluate the property when it's available, publish sales on sales website, then manage the sales process, etc., etc. And I have seen up to 70 subtasks per task. The problem is it's hard to follow what's happening. You have no idea where you are for each one of those by looking at the screen. Also, working with subtasks has a lot of limitation. It has been discussed at length on the forum. If I just go over the limitations again, if you complete subtasks, they don't disappear. So if you have a very long list, you will be stuck with a list of completed subtasks. The subtask does not belong to the project. So if you look at the calendar, you don't see anything. If you look at the timeline, you don't see anything. If you want to run some reporting, project dashboard doesn't have the ability to include the subtask. So you might run into issues, might be really hard to manage. And also, one simple very thing that I always say is it's not comfortable working with subtask. You are delegated to the right-hand side of the screen. It's a very small area. If you want to do anything on the subtask, you have to open the subtask and go inside and go back up. It's really not easy to navigate. The reason why people end up in a situation like this is because they are afraid of having too many projects. For them, having 50 projects is scary, but they are not afraid of having 50 tasks, each one of those having a bunch of subtasks. And I think it's not a good path to go down. And my advice is always the same. Create project. It's not a problem. You can have 50 projects at any given time. It's perfectly fine as long as they are named properly, so you can find them by using the search, and as long as you can have that kind of overview of which property is where in terms of pipeline. So if you mix that approach on the screen with my approach, this is what it looks like. Basically, you create a property template. This is the template with exactly the same steps. I'm going to pick one, for example, this one, 30 Memorial Drive, and I'll create a project from the template. So I'm going to use the template. This is the one. I'll pick the team. Here you go. I will have an entire project to work on this property. That means having access to sections, having access to filter, to sort, to custom field. I could have a project dashboard. I could have a timeline view of that specific project. I'm just comfortable working. I have access to everything Asana offers instead of being stuck within the subtask. The trick there, once you have this, is to go back to the property list. You go back here and you just get rid of all the subtasks and you create a link to the project. That means you have the best of both worlds. You have your overview, which a card being placed in the right column. So you can say exactly for each property where you are. And if you click through the task, you get access to the entire project. To me, that's the best approach. You have the best of both worlds. And again, you are really comfortable working and you really use Asana to its full potential. Make sure to archive project when you're done. Even if you don't archive, it's fine. You can have hundreds of projects as long as you use the search. You shouldn't scroll down looking for something. You should never do that. It's too hard to find something, it takes a lot of energy and time. Just look for something. You look for a specific property, you know it's on Memorial Drive, you're going to find it right away, like 5 seconds max to find something. It's way, way quicker. And you can also use the match from the properties project that will take you to the task, which is a link to the project. Let me know what you think in the comments. And I know it's a big shift in the way you might have organized your Asana, but trust me, you will really feel better and more comfortable working with one project for each property or book or client or whatever you're working on. Have a good day.